Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Aviana. This is Aviana's Ascension, and today we are going to see what messages Spirit has for you for the month of October. So we're going to do a Celtic cross today with the tarot, and then I have some oracle messages to close us out. I'm going to go ahead and get the Celtic cross ready while we talk about the meditation. So your meditation was really cool. So first of all, I saw you guys like on the beach and you picked up a seashell. So some of y'all might be taking a vacation on the beach. Maybe you really just like the beach, or maybe you like seashells. And so you picked up the seashell and you looked into it, and then it was a really interesting energy. It was like you spiraled down into it, kind of like Ariel's voice, how it went into Ursula's little shell necklace that she had. It was kind of like that, but your whole body went into it, right? And then I saw you kind of spiraling and then hitting rock bottom, right? And then from rock bottom, you popped up. I heard pop up like a Pop Tart. You popped up and you were just on top of the world. So some of you guys could have recently gone through a big spiraling moment or recently felt like you just hit rock bottom, but know that you are going to be coming out of that bigger, stronger, there we go, more successful than ever. Okay, so if it's been a rough time for you, Spirit's acknowledging that. Spirit sees that, they feel that. But know that you had to go through this spiraling to get to the very bottom, to feel like nothing could stop you from popping out. I love it. So let's talk about it. At the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the month of October, we have the Three of Cups here, King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, Two of Cups, Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, the Strength card. Okay. So with the Three of Cups, you could be spending a lot of time with friends, family. There could be some sort of like family reunion or school reunion happening here. But you're really just spending time with the people that make you feel good. You're having fun, socializing. Okay, with the King of Pentacles here, this could be something to do with work, with your career, with your finances, with your home. So some of you could definitely be spending time with your family, or maybe even a father figure, an older brother. But I just feel like when it comes to your stability and security and your relationships, I feel like that is definitely enhancing right now. Very good. With the Knight of Cups, Two of Cups, there could be some new love coming in, or the deepening of a current connection. Or maybe somebody is kind of confessing their love, maybe even an apology coming through here. But I just feel like you're surrounded by a really good group of people right now. Like you could feel like you have your soul tribe, even if things have been going bad or whatever. It's like that's exactly what you needed to connect with these people, or to connect with your space of love. So you're doing great, okay? With the Seven of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Strength card. So there does seem to be a little bit of confusion or lack of clarity when it comes to moving forward here. With the Strength card, again, you have been having to be really strong and really brave and just moving forward from the things that you feel are weighing you down. But as you move forward, I do feel there would be more clarity on that path. So just keep moving and keep tapping into that love and that stability that you have, because clarity is going to come through for you soon. So very cool. All right, let's talk about it. So the current situation, we have the Star card. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, or maybe you have that in your chart. The Star card is all about soul level fulfillment. It's about your dreams coming true, being balanced, authentic, and vulnerable. That's why she's often depicted in the nude on the Star card, because being naked is the most vulnerable thing, right? So you could be feeling very open and very connected to yourself, connected to the universe. There could be some third eye work, some psychic work, intuitive work that you're doing, and you could really be having a holistic, a metaphysical approach to accomplishing something or to attracting things to you right now. So I feel like your energy is very, very powerful. All right, tell me more about the Star card for Sagittarius. Ooh, yes. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it. See, there's your card right here, Sagittarius. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles here, Five of Swords. So, yeah, you are really putting yourself first, as you should, right? If you don't honor your needs, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't water your garden, nobody else is going to. So, I really feel there's a lot of balance, a lot of truth and authenticity flowing through you right now. Very, very cool. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Magician. So, yeah, again, Spirit is definitely speaking on that hard time that you've gone through. There could have been some disappointment or hurt or maybe betrayal from somebody that was close to you, or maybe just something that you were really excited for did not pan out how you expected. What's really cool about that is you're not letting that get you down, right? You're allowing that to shift your priorities. You're using this disappointment as a way to rebalance yourself and get recentered and remind yourself, like, okay, if that didn't work out, if this didn't end how I thought, what do I need to do? Not in the sense of like, how can I force it to work out for me? But it's like, okay, if that's not meant for me, then what is, right? You're learning how to redirect your energy. Instead of focusing on fear or lack, you're saying, okay, this didn't work out for me, but I'm going to get refocused, recentered, and learn how to use this situation as a good lesson, and how whatever this disappointment taught you, you're using that to create something better and bigger for yourself. You're using this rejection, this disappointment as a redirection. Very powerful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So fierce. Okay, so the challenge with this situation is the Eight of Wands, right? So you're wanting something to unfold faster for you. I totally get that. But how can you lean into patience, into trust, okay? Because you are very capable of making something come through for you, whether that is through redirection or whether that's through letting your intuition guide you. You're allowing something to unfold as it needs to, but you're also wanting something to come out of it very quickly, right? This can also be a desire to travel or maybe some sort of communication, whether that's through a phone call, an email, a text. Like, you're really wanting some sort of like maybe confirmation or validation that you're on the right path. I mean, the fact that you showed up with the Magician and the Star card as your current situation, fully trust and believe that something's going to come through for you, because it will. Definitely. Tell me more about the Eight of Wands for Sagittarius. All right. With the World card, you're definitely wanting something to come full circle here. You want that success, that achievement, that accomplishment. Absolutely. That's what we all want, right? You know, even if it's from a more spiritual standpoint, we all want our dreams and our wishes to come to fruition. Absolutely. Okay. We have the Death card here in the Ten of Cups, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio. So yeah, I feel like there could have been a situation where maybe you had to walk away from a group of people or something that meant a lot to you, or maybe you had to kind of distance yourself from family in this situation. I feel like you're struggling with the ending of something that felt really close to you, or something that felt like it was going to go the distance. You know, this could be having to leave a work environment where you felt like you were family, but unfortunately there were other aspects to this work environment where you couldn't stick around. This could be literally your family. This could be a romantic situation. So I want to look into that a bit more. But we do have the Seven of Pentacles here, the Three of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. They're letting you know you are going to go towards that new cycle, that new chapter, but you need to be patient, right? The day you plant the seed is not the day you get the fruit. Okay? So tell me more about the Ten of Cups. Let's start there. Yeah, we have the King of Cups. So you're being encouraged to balance your emotions. Yeah, some balance is needed here. Okay. Yeah, because you might feel very yeah, left out in the cold, like, yeah, like you had to walk away from your family, from your group of people. Maybe you were feeling abandoned, neglected, or like nobody understood you. Tell me more about the death card. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups, and then there's the Four of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Yeah, you had to walk away from something like you really didn't want to, okay? But I mean, and again, with the Knight of Cups to the Death card, there was a lot of love in a situation. Like you were really trying to lead with an open heart and lean into trust. And unfortunately, that led to you having to walk away from a situation. And maybe that's why you're wanting the results. You know, you're like, I walked away from this. Like, when are things going to get better? When am I going to see the reward for that effort? Totally get that. I totally get that. Okay. So, what you need to focus on, we have the Hanged Man. Yeah. This whole thing I feel is about like, listen, you're going through hard times because there's more you need to learn about yourself and your capabilities. So, you have to surrender right now. And that's what the Hanged Man is all about. This is about trusting in divine intervention and surrendering, trusting, taking a step back, and letting things unfold how they're meant to. Spirit is saying that there is going to be a new understanding, a new perspective here. So don't keep focusing on like, how can I move forward? How can I get where I want to be? How can you learn how to surrender? How can you learn to trust your intuition? That's what you're being asked to do here. How can you learn to trust the divine? Tell me more about the Hanged Man. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Hierophant. You could be dealing with a Taurus. So yeah, you're in a page energy right now, letting me know that this is definitely something that you're not used to. Okay, pages are all about not being as experienced. They have a lot of excitement and eagerness, but they don't have all the background knowledge and all of the tools they may need to see something all the way through. So Spirit is saying there's more you need to learn here. Okay, how can you, and especially if this has to do with your stability and your security, like how can you learn more about attracting rather than chasing? How can you learn more about the energy behind money or the energy behind your goals and desires and how to match that frequency rather than being in a chasing, fearful, scarcity mindset, you know? We also have the Seven of Wands here. So yeah, there's like a fear here. It's like you feel like you need to protect yourself. You need to worry about your needs. And obviously, you do have to take into consideration your needs and you have to honor them. But don't do it from a space of like, especially like it feels like this is you and the divine co-creating something. The divine is always going to help you and always rooting for you and saying yes and wanting to support you in any way. So instead of feeling like it's you versus the world, how can you step into a space of, okay, it's me co-creating with the world? If I'm experiencing something in my external that I don't like, how can I go within to shift my energy so I can shift the external? Because that's how this works. You create your own reality with your thoughts, your words, your actions. So figure out how to fine tune that within yourself rather than speaking fear or lack into whatever this is that you're wanting to call in for yourself. Okay, and with the Hierophant here, you could benefit from a spiritual guide or a mentor, a counselor, a teacher, someone older, wiser, something like that. Because again, you're showing up as a page here. So there's still a lot you need to learn. So I would lean in towards people, videos, meditations, whatever, books that can help you reach that level of enlightenment and wisdom that you need to see this all the way through. And if I were you, I would tell the universe, like, show me the people, the resources, the tools that will help me at this time. Work with the universe. Don't feel like the universe is going against you, because that's never the case. Okay. And we have the Six of Wands, the Six of Pentacles. You guys could be seeing a lot of sixes. We also have the Lovers, which is another six, and the Tower and the Eight of Swords and the Devil. Yeah, it feels like there were some energies tied to you that weren't the best, okay? There could have been just a lot of fearful, maybe trauma bonding, maybe building something on a foundation that was just not secure. And I feel like that's the whole point of this right now. Like you're unlearning, letting fear and lack motivate you. And I think that there was maybe a lot of compromising in your connections, which is why you had to walk away from a lot of them. They don't resonate with where you're at right now. And I feel like you found yourself compromising until you got to the point of like, why am I compromising so much? Why am I living in lack and fear? And how can you shift that? Because the universe, I'm telling you, the universe wants to give you success. They want to put a spotlight on you. They want you to shine. So work with them. Okay. So yeah, here we go. The recent past, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is like that rock bottom energy. You know, this is someone, you've just been through it. You've been through it. You've been hurt. You've been disappointed. But the thing is, you don't ever give up. You don't ever, sit at that bottom and you're just like, well, this is it. This is someone who's very motivated and determined to make it where they want to make it. They're saying let your track record speak for itself, right? You've been through worse and you've been able to make it through and overcome every single time. So why would this time be different? Tell me more about the Nine of Wands. See, they're saying like, look at how powerful, how intuitive, how beautiful your heart is. Like, you will always win. You will always win. We have the Four of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun card. You could be dealing with a Leo or have that in your chart. But yeah, in the recent past with the Knight of Pentacles, like something took time for you to overcome it and to get out of it. This, again, Spirit saying this was not easy for you, and they're not trying to downplay it like it is, but understand that you go through everything for a reason. There's delays, there's obstacles for a reason. It's because you needed to learn more. You needed to learn how to trust yourself, how to rebuild. Those are important skills, right? We need to have those skills in life. Okay. And with the Sun card, with the Four of Swords, even though this was a hard time for you and it may have taken time to come out of it, there is ease and peace, rejuvenation, joy, clarity, and optimism that was the end result of this. Like, I feel like this difficult situation forced you to take care of yourself, forced you to recognize when you needed a break, when you needed to pull your energy back. Again, those are important skills to have. And especially, I feel this gave you a lot of clarity, whether there were certain people in this situation that exposed themselves, maybe different habits that you have that you're ready to release. There was just a lot you learned about yourself and others through this situation, which is very beautiful. It's important to know who you can trust, who you can't trust, who's an energy vampire, who's not, right? So some potential possibilities here. We have another page, the Page of Swords. Okay, so I see that you're going to be open to new ideas, new ways of showing up. Okay, I feel like this is you. Yeah, just some of you guys could be like studying something. Like, I'm seeing somebody reading a book in a library. Like, I just feel that this is something that's opening you up to new ways of thinking, new ideas, and just learning. I like that. I like this because it feels like this was an interesting, humbling experience where you realize, okay, I don't know everything. I don't know how to handle this. So let me figure some things out. I like it. Okay, tell me more about the Page of Swords. Yeah, it's like something was so draining for you that you had no other choice but to focus on yourself and your success and how to grow that and embody that. So we have the Strength card, the Seven of Cups, and the Four of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, there was a situation again with the Leo energy where you had to walk away from somebody or something or way of being, you know? You had to learn how to balance your animal self and your higher self, not letting your ego, your survival instincts, or or lack, fear and lack, that keeps coming up, not letting those things be the motivating factor, right? And we all have an animal self, we all have an ego, a shadow self. Those things don't go away. Their job is to keep you safe. But as you heal and as you get into a safe energy and a safe environment and calm your nervous system, there are certain habits and beliefs that no longer resonate for you. So I feel like that's what you're shedding, that's what you're letting go of. Very, very good. We have the Seven of Cups, the Four of Wands. So yeah, I just feel like there is a lot of just confusion surrounding your family, surrounding a long-term commitment. This could even be like your soul tribe. And I think because there's just so much confusion, you had no other choice but to learn and explore new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing things. Some of you could be going to like a family counselor. Tell me more about the Seven of Cups, Four of Wands. Yeah, you're looking for more balance in the family connection. And here's the thing, I feel like your family could have been used to you showing up in a certain way. Maybe always keeping quiet and just going along to keep the peace. Maybe, just I feel like the family is used to you being in the back seat or putting yourself on the back burner. But you recognize that's not fair for you anymore and it's actually extremely draining. So you're wanting to figure out like you don't know how, but you want more balance, more truth in the family. So I would definitely start by asking yourself like what do you need in your family? If you could create your family from scratch, what qualities, what personality traits, characteristics, what ways of showing up would come through? Yeah, we have the Hermit, the Ace of Swords. So I just feel like there's going to be a lot of clarity for you when it comes to the family and when it comes to showing up for yourself and trusting yourself as well. Like you don't have to suffer in silence and keep yourself small to have a healthy, balanced family. And if that is the case for you, time to find your soul family. Okay, because I'm not going to advocate for that. And it's not to say that you have to totally cut off your family in order to live your truth and live your best life. No. I think as you're learning how to set boundaries, as you're learning how to trust yourself and learning what you need, you can find that support other places. That's allowed. All right, everyone, let's take a little coffee break. If you have coffee, let's take a sip, or water, tea, whatever beverage you like. Okay, see? Just like that. I'm letting you do what you want to do. I'll be your soul family. I don't care. I love people. All right. So in the near future, we have the Empress, divine feminine energy. I love it. Okay, this is also Taurus energy. So in the near future, this could be you connecting with a mother figure, a grandma, older sister. This could also be you birthing new ideas, right? Like you're learning some things, so now you're ready to bring them out and share them with others or just live them in your everyday life. This also talks about abundance and having everything you need and attracting what you need instead of feeling like you have to chase or move from a space of lack. So it feels like there's a lot more trust in your connection with the divine, connection with yourself. I feel like you're a lot more intuitive. You know how to explore your inner world. So let's see what's going on with the Empress. Yes, I like it. We have Temperance, the Queen of Cups here, again at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, you're really stepping into your higher power and you're learning how to trust your intuition and allow your own heart's desires motivate you and direct you. I love, love, love it. So with the Empress, we have the Queen of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. I just see moving forward for you, you are really protecting your energy. You're protecting your abundance. You're protecting your power. You know, like whenever you choose to argue with somebody, when you choose to be small, when you question yourself, question your future, like that is really not honoring your feminine energy. And we all have feminine energy. Doesn't matter your gender or how you identify, we all have feminine and masculine. And I just see that you're not playing about yourself anymore, right? The Queen of Swords, I call her Judge Judy. She does not care about your feelings. She cares about the facts. Show me the Carfax. You know, it's just like when you go to get a used car and you look at the Carfax and you're like, okay, well, it says this is how much the car's worth and the damage it's been through. So you may feel like you want to sell this car for 20,000, but it's looking like 15. You know, like it's just the facts of the situation. Protect your energy, consider your energy and your beauty, your abundance, whatever. Like, think of it as how a business protects their stuff. You know, they've got alarms, they've got those little security tags, and, you know, people have to pay to have access to certain things. Like, not to say like an hour with you costs a certain amount of money or anything like that, but it's like, listen, if you're not showing up right, I'm going to protect my energy, and that's that. And that's what time you're on. I love it. I love it. I like that. I like this a lot. Especially shout out to my friend Allison. Like, you're a Sagittarius. This makes me happy for you. I love it. Okay, so your advice is the Ace of Pentacles. Absolutely. So just think of new things, whether it's new hobbies, passions, new places you can travel, new friends you can make that are rooted in stability, in success. Okay, because this is all about planting a seed with strong roots, good soil. You're getting the sunlight and watching something very beautiful grow. Okay, Spirit's letting you know something has a very good potential. And that's because you're protecting your energy, you're taking care of yourself, and you don't care what anybody else thinks about that. You're also opening yourself up to new ideas and new ways of thinking, and it's fierce. I feel like this is a great evolution, ascension, enlightenment. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about the Ace of Pentacles. All right, let's see. The King of Pentacles. Okay. Focus on your money. Focus on your abundance. Focus on your home. You know what I mean? Like, create your physical reality around you to represent like the life you want to live. Like, how would your highest self show up today? Show up like that, right? Maybe some of you guys are working extra, or maybe you just got a new job, but it's just like focus on the things that feed you, that make you feel secure and stable, things that you are very happy to pour your energy into because you know you're going to get it back, you know? Just don't waste your time around things that drain you and make you feel less than. Like, All right. So what's happening in your environment that's impacting the situation? We have the Knight of Wands. Okay. So there could be someone around you who maybe you feel is inconsistent. Maybe they're just there for a good time. And when it comes to the more difficult or the more the conversations or activities that have to do with more substance, maybe they're not there. This could be somebody that you feel is like in and out, or is just always on the move and always just trying to see where the next party is. And this is someone who may not be okay with sitting in their discomfort or sitting in silence and just relaxing. So let's see about it. Because the Knight of Wands is just someone who wants to have a good time, someone who's looking for excitement, for eagerness, you know, like this could be like an adrenaline junkie kind of thing. Tell me more about the Knight of Wands. And this could be another Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Yeah, this is somebody you need to pull your energy back from, I think. Because look, we got the Devil, the Eight of Swords, could be a Capricorn as well. But yeah, this is someone who gets you overthinking. This is somebody that you might feel you have a soul tied to, maybe like a twin flame energy. And me personally, I'm not into the twin flame thing. I'm not going to advocate for you to stay in something that is toxic and chaotic just because you feel a strong connection. No. You know what I mean? Like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not selling it. Mm-mm. No. Okay. But this is somebody who really gets you in your mind, gets you in your feelings, gets you overthinking. And like that's an energy vampire. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't literally have to be somebody that, you know, is mean to you or hurtful towards you or uses you. This is somebody, if you are spending too much time overthinking, checking locations, seeing if they message you, seeing what they're doing and they don't answer, that's doing too much. If they can't appreciate your presence, have them appreciate your absence. Because, Okay, we have the Six of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it's time to move on. This is an energy where there's chaos is at the center of it. It's like you're in a whirlpool and you're like, I just want to calm water. You're not going to get a calm water here. You have to get up and get out of the whirlpool. Okay, and where are you going to go? You're going to go focus on your money, focus on your abundance, focus on the legacy that you want to leave here on this earth. Because you have too many important things to do to be dilly-dallying with somebody who's draining your energy. It's just the case. You know what I mean? Okay, your hope or your fear? I kind of want to pop my back, but I'll wait. Your hope or your fear is the Eight of Pentacles. Maybe some of you guys need to pop your back or go to the chiropractor. I don't know. But the Eight of Pentacles here, this is you. This could be a hope and a fear, honestly. This could be fear that, you know, if you choose to focus on yourself, you're going to have to be isolated and no one's going to understand and no one's going to want to be around you. This could also be a hope that you do just focus on yourself and that the energy and attention you put into your work, into school, into your education, into your craft is going to pay off. Sometimes the universe puts us by ourselves because that's the only way we'll grow, right? When you have too much noise, too many distractions around you, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? That's like if I was trying to do readings with the TV blaring in the back. Like, I'd be like, what's going on over there? You know what I mean? And I'm not doing the work I'm meant to be doing. So be okay with being to yourself. And also know that spending time alone and loving that and honoring that is so important, right? Because that's how you get back to your true self. That's how you recharge your energy. That's how you tap into your intuition, into your heart messages, you know? It's through alone time. It's through the quiet. All right. Tell me more about the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, it's like keep following your truth. Know that you are doing something special, okay? I don't feel like this is something that's going to happen overnight, right? This makes me think of, I always talk about this. I don't know why. It cracks me up when I do. But I saw like a TikTok or something, a pit bull, and yes, Mr. Worldwide. And and he was saying, he was like, listen, everyone thinks like with the viral stuff, like that it should be overnight and it should be that easy. And listen, it's not. It's not. Okay. And he said, the longer it takes you to get somewhere, the longer you're going to be there. So be grateful to hone in on your craft, to perfect your skills, right? It's like Drew Afualo, you know, the girl on TikTok who makes fun of men. She said, I listened to her podcast. She said she posted every day for 2 years before getting the traction that she has now. Every day for 2 years. Okay? I would do that math real quick. I think it's 520 days. No, 530. I don't know. Let's forget the math about the 2 years. But yeah, it's like you're going to, wait, no, hold on. It'd be 700. What was I talking about? Now I'm fixing 730 days. Yes, that's it. 730. Good job, guys. Okay. But yeah, know that something taking time does not mean you're on the wrong path. Know that, you know, whenever we get really focused on ourselves, especially after having to walk away from certain people and having to go through hard times, we can really want that payout immediately to know like it was all worth something. If you focusing on yourself and honing a craft, that's something. And that's something that's worth a whole lot. Okay. So trust in your path, trust in your focus, because it's your truth and something very beautiful is going to pan out from it. Okay. Keep following your intuition. Gorgeous. All right. So the final outcome here is the 10 of Wands. So this could be an energy of you getting really, really close to something and like literally being able to taste it. This can also be, again, being very motivated, determined, or this could feel like you're doing it all on your own. Like there's a lot of pressure, a lot of burden. So let's see which energy you're in. Tell me more about the 10 of Wands. Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Okay. Okay, so some of you might feel kind of pulled between like the financial gain and following your heart. Okay. So you might feel a lot of pressure from this because you're like, well, I really want this to be successful. I want to be able to lean on myself and have the life that I want. But you also want to follow your heart. So I would not compromise your truth, your love, your passions for a check or for stability, because I feel like in the end of it all, you'll still be not as fulfilled. You know what I mean? Like there are billionaires out there who are not happy, right? So don't let financial freedom or being able to create your own schedule, being your own boss, whatever, don't let that have you compromise on what the real true goal is, and that is to follow your heart. Okay, let me see what else I feel from this. Whenever it comes to having to make a decision or not being sure which way to go, don't judge yourself, don't be harsh on yourself, but give yourself more love and more nurture and more support, because you are very capable. Okay. And again, I'm hearing let your track record speak for itself. Don't let fear, don't let immediate gratification get you to compromise what all of this is about. Okay. Because you've been through some things that have helped you get here. So now that you're here, don't try to cheat the system. You know what I mean? Because it's going to work out for you. It's all going to work out for you. So just trust a bit more. All right, let's close it out with some oracle messages, Sagittarius. And if this resonated, let me know with a like, a comment, definitely subscribe. And if you guys, you should definitely share this video with a friend or a family member, cross watcher. And you guys did get, a couple months ago, you were my highest viewed reading. So whenever you guys do that, I give you a free, or not a free, they're all free. I give you a bonus career and love reading. So they are timeless. So if you need some career and love advice, check it out. I'll leave it at the end of this little reading. Interesting. Okay, this is interesting. So we have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. What is that? Hold on to it. Okay. Then we have yes, just say yes. What is that? Okay. So I gave you guys time because sometimes whenever we have a yes and no card, there are certain like questions you may have or issues, and they pop into your head to let you know that it's a no or it's a yes. So hopefully two different things popped up in your head. If not, this could have to do with like that Two of Wands energy where you're kind of going back and forth about something. So let's see about these other messages. Okay, we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Beautiful. I like both these cards because look, it's like radiating light and beauty. So I feel like you guys are going back and forth about what it is you want to bring to fruition. You know, there's a lot of pentacle cards. So this has a lot to do with probably your career, your purpose, your stability overall. And Spirit's saying whatever it is that you want to lean into, like, you are meant to do it. It's time to bet on yourself. It's time to trust in yourself. And it's time to believe that everything you've been through up to this point has gotten you ready to step into this power. Okay? You've got this, Sagittarius. Do not dim yourself anymore. And no more lack or fear. All right. I love it. That's your reading, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for watching. I love, love, love you guys. If you want more from me, I have all sorts of goodies in the description box for you. First, I've got all of my social media if y'all want more content, if you need to message me for some reason, if you want to know more about me, go to the social media, okay? I also have my website. That's also where you can learn more about me. I have a little tab, my story, if you want to know how I got into this. Or if you want to book a personal reading or a soul alchemy ceremony, that's where we turn your pain and your fears and your traumas into trust and faith and helping you create the life that you desire. It's your birthright, okay? And I can offer those services virtually if you're not in my area, but you still want to tap in and get a little guidance from Aviana personally. I also have a newsletter you can sign up for that's on my website. Love, love, love the newsletter. I always send it out with my readings, and it's just a great way to get more spiritual guidance and more information to help you on your spiritual growth and your spiritual journey. So if you want more meditations, affirmations, rituals, journal prompts, fun things like that, check it out, okay? Get into it. And when you sign up for the newsletter, you get a free guided meditation sent to you. So I love it. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, Sagittarius. I love you. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.